Sandy, and today's video demonstration will be on making pasta dough.
I have 6 eggs, 4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt. I have some water and additional flour, but I'll explain about that later.
We're going to start off making the dough, and you could make this dough by hand by making a well, but I'm going to be using my handy daily double the recipe, but I will provide a single recipe for pasta dough. For one pasta dough recipe, it would be 3 eggs, 2 cups of flour, and a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so let's get started. First, I'm going to add my flour straight to the bowl, all of it. Just dump it right in. I'm going to be following that as well with the salt. So I'm going to dump that in too. And if you notice, and you're probably thinking, why is she using a flat beater? Because before I put on the dough hook, I just like to make sure that everything gets all stirred in. It's as simple as that. So once it's starting to stir, I start pouring in my eggs. Try to get one in at a time, if you can. Okay, I'm going to be switching to a dough hook now. Now that I have all the eggs in there, everything's looking crumbly, and everything looks really, I don't know if you can see that, but it's really crumbly and dry. Can you see that? Okay. Since nothing's really happening and the dough is looking really crumbly and dry, and I don't believe it's going to come together, I'm going to add some water. Okay, so when your dough comes together and forms a ball, then you know that your pasta dough is ready, and it has formed a ball inside. And we achieved that by, because it was crumbly, when you saw that, we added some water until it was able to form a ball around the dough hook. So it formed a ball. If it hadn't formed a ball, we'd add more water. If it was too wet, then we would add flour to compensate. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is wrap up the dough in plastic wrap and let it sit for about 20 minutes. Up to an hour is great too. So we'll let it sit, and so all the gluten can work itself out. Okay. I cut my pasta dough into 4 separate pieces, and I'm using my mixer again, but now I have my attachment, my roller attachment. If you have a table mount, that's great too. You want to put it on the lowest number setting, and you want to pass the through, and you want to do it a couple of times so your pasta becomes a nice, beautiful silk piece of dough. And then you fold it, you literally fold it like a business letter into thirds. So you can fold it down, and you fold this part up like a business letter. I like to dust mine a little bit with flour if I feel that it's a little too moist. And then I place it back inside the pasta plate and pass it again, but this time I pass it with the raw edges showing, okay? So you pass it through. You do this a couple of times until you know you've achieved what you wanted. So since I have done it 4 times already, I'm going to now go to number 2 setting. So here we are. We put it straight through, guiding with one hand and grabbing the dough with the other hand. This is why I prefer using the attachment as opposed to the hand crank version, because with the hand crank version you only have one hand free. So with this one, the mixer is doing all of my work, and I have both of my hands free, one to hold the dough and one to support the dough coming out on the bottom. So now I've already did number 2, I'm going on to number 3. And each time, each setting, the rollers are coming closer and closer and closer together. So again, I'm supporting the bottom and the top. And my dough is looking absolutely incredible. It looks like an actual piece of fabric. It's amazing. And we keep repeating this process until we get to setting number 5. And then at setting number 5, you can cut the dough any way you want. If you have never made your own pasta, I would suggest that you try it at least once, and I can guarantee you that you won't go back. You won't go back to the regular pastas that you buy off a sheet of pasta. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible what you can do. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see. It's like a piece of silk. Turning this beautiful sheet of pasta into mouth-watering ravioli. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video demonstration on your basic pasta dough. Please stay tuned for one of my next installments, which will be making a filling and turning that wonderful pasta dough into a mouth-watering ravioli. Thank you.
Viens voir les comédiens, voir les musiciens, voir les magiciens qui arrivent. Viens voir les comédiens, voir les musiciens, voir les magiciens qui arrivent. Les comédiens ont installé leur tréteau, ils ont dressé